Hello, farmers, and welcome to another episode of the harvest season. My name is Al,
My name is Chelsea.
and we're here today to talk about cottagecore games. Woo!
Woo!
H hello, Chelsea. Welcome back.
Welcome back to you.
maybe you should be welcoming me back because you were on multiple episodes while I was off.
Yeah, it's been a while. Welcome back, Al.
Yes, I'm just checking. The last episode I recorded was on the 11th of July. So that's 6 weeks. So I've not
Oh my
podcasted for
goodness.
6 weeks. So let's see if I can remember how to do it.
We've missed you.
Oh dear, good fun. Well, thank you all for your recordings and episodes for Bug Month and beyond, I guess, because you did last week's as well. They were enjoyable to edit and listen to.
Good.
Great. Well, this episode we are going to talk about a game that I've been playing for ages and haven't really played for the last 6 weeks because I was meant to record it 5 weeks ago, but then things happened, so I ended up not being able to record it, sadly. But we're finally here. Let's see if I can remember everything about the game before we talk about it, and that is Moonlight Peaks. So
Woohoo!
I have played Moonlight Peaks. Chelsea has played Moonlight Peaks. We will get into the details of that in the main section. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes.
Before that, we have some news. Despite there being so much news that you had to cover last week, there is more news.
It never ends.
It never ends. It does pause sometimes,
Mm.
especially around December. All that happens around December is delays. But before all that, Chelsea, what have you been up to?
Well, since last week, uh, not a whole lot. Just been playing some Moonlight Peaks, playing some Neopets. It was our daughter's birthday, so my husband
Woo!
was off for the week. So we did museums, water parks,
Nice.
get-togethers, and then it's my son William's birthday on Wednesday. So we're gonna just keep going, and then the week after that is school. So we're just trying to
Wow.
shove that last little bit of summer at
Yeah.
the end because they start on the 2nd of September, which means back
When,
to routine, kind of.
how long is your summer holidays?
So usually it starts like last week of June. We went right up to like the 28th, I think, this year of June, and then we start September 2nd. So
Wow.
about 2 months. Yeah. How about
That's
over
very
there?
long. Yeah, we get 6 weeks here.
Okay. I think it'd be beneficial for everybody if they kind of had shorter summer break with more kind of like March break, Christmas
Yeah.
break,
Yeah, that's
pauses
nine
throughout
that's
the
9 weeks
year.
you get there. That's a long
It's a
time.
long, yeah, it is.
I definitely prefer,
I
I mean, you'll experience this as well. I definitely prefer shorter holidays because the routine change can be quite difficult for my children.
For sure. Yeah, we have one starting 11th grade, 8th grade, 7th grade, and 4th grade. So three of the four are at one school this year, and one is just on her own
Oh
for
no.
2 more years. But no, it's good. They're not scattered everywhere anymore.
Nice, nice.
Yeah. So that's parenting. It's like, what have you been
Yeah.
up to? Well, what I've been up to is what my children have been up to. But no, it's been a good summer.
Nice. Well, not that,
Mhm.
not much longer until you can have some break during the day.
Well, more Moonlight Peaks time.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
My
Um,
Animal Crossing island's been neglected too.
Shocking, shocking. I have also been playing Moonlight Peaks since I was last on the episode, but again, it's been quite a while, so it's not really been the last couple of weeks. Um, although I do have it open next to me just so I can confirm anything that I have to question.
Yes.
What I have been playing is I have picked up Rhythm Heaven Groove. So that's the new Rhythm Heaven game. I don't know if you've played. Oh, here's a fun thing. I can't remember which name is which because the name's different here than it is in North America. One of them
Oh,
calls it Rhythm Heaven, and one of them calls it Rhythm Paradise, and I can never remember which is which.
okay. Oh, sure. I think
Because
yeah,
the
you
problem is
mentioned
that
it
all
before
of the
though.
stuff I see online is one name, but then Craig calls it the other name because that's the only name he knows is the name that's on the thing. And so but I've got to the point where I just can't remember what it's called.
Wait a minute. Yeah, you're enjoying that one?
Yes, I am enjoying that. It's good fun. I haven't got through as much as I would have liked to, but I'll get there. And then I also picked up in the last week or so the Pocopia DLC. So I am playing through Bubbly Basin and may or may not have stuff to talk about that in a future
Oh,
episode.
yes.
All right. Should we get on with some news then?
Yes, we should.
First up, Cozy Grove Camp Spirit. This is the most recent Cozy Grove game, which was previously on Netflix. It is now also out on Steam and on Switch. And I just realized I
On
didn't check whether it was
Netflix?
on. Yeah, so it was a Netflix game originally. Um,
Okay, I have not delved into any Netflix game.
it's not too bad. I guess, the main disadvantage is that obviously it's not on consoles or anything. So it's kind of designed around phone slash TV, I guess. But
Okay.
so it's yeah. Um, I obviously I'm never a huge fan of when things are exclusive to a subscription service. That's not great. Um,
On a TV service.
yeah, exactly. It is also on Xbox and PlayStation. I'd just forgotten to check that before. So yeah, Cozy Grove Camp
Interesting.
Spirit is now out on wherever you play games, unless that's some weird old console.
I had to laugh. There's in Canada we have Rogers TV, and in like the mid 2000s you could do picture in picture and you could play like a bubble blast game while you're watching
Yes.
TV, and I'm like, this is the
Yeah.
future. The
We had
future
that.
is now.
Yeah, we had that as well. On ours here. That was good fun.
Crazy.
Enjoyed
Oh my
that.
goodness. Yeah.
Next up, Starbirds have announced that their 1.0 is coming out in 2027. Sorry to Kevin, who had that on his game draft for this year. You're not getting points for that one.
Not yet.
Well, not this
Not
year,
yet.
because, you know,
Nope.
so we shall see who ends up winning. But
You
if
won
Kevin,
2027.
well, yeah, I mean, that'll be high up on the list, won't it, for the 2027 draft?
It could still be April. You never know.
Also coming out in 2027 is Neverway, which has been delayed. It was meant to be coming out this year, but before that, it was meant to be coming out last year. So they're on a run of delaying. Let's see if it actually comes out next year.
We get GTA 6 before Neverway.
I believe this game was actually first announced in uh like 20, it was either 2021 2019, I can't remember, but certainly a long time ago.
Oh my goodness.
So
It's an urban
yeah.
legend at this point.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, not sorry if you were looking for that this year.
It gets to the point where you just lower your expectations and then be pleasantly surprised
My bad.
when it does
I'm talking about
eventually.
a different game. This one was never meant to be coming out in 2025. That would have been Witchbrook. There we go.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
mixing things up in my head here. Witchbrook has not, as of now, been delayed to 2027, but doesn't have a release date yet. Their most recent update was like, "Oh, we're still going," and people are
We're
like,
still here.
"Okay, yeah, you're gonna release this year?" Or because yes, I think it was Witchbrook that was originally announced a long time ago.
They'll do a Silk song and be like, yep, prepare yourself. It's ready.
Yeah. It's way worse than I was saying. Witchbook was originally announced in 2016.
Oh,
It's even changed name since then.
oh my goodness.
It was
Is this their
originally
first game?
Spellbound and is now Witchbrook. It's Chucklefish, I believe, who are actually developing it because they were originally just a games publisher. They published Stardew before it went self-published.
Ah, okay.
But it looks like they've. Is this their first game? Good question.
Not even trying to be rude. Like, is this your first game?
I
Not,
don't
no
think
sass
so.
required.
No, it is not their first game.
Okay.
They have this will be their fourth game. So they actually developed the Wargroove games. I don't know if you're um,
It's ringing a bell. Yeah.
Wargroove 2 came out a couple of years ago. It was like a big it was it's a turn-based tactics game, but it was um like quite heavily marketed by Nintendo, I think.
Okay.
Um but yes, and they also released a game called Starbound, which I had never heard of. So yeah, no, it's their fourth game. But Starbound, their first game, came out the year they announced this game, Witchbrook. So They've released 3 games since they've announced this game.
Their magnum opus.
Yeah. But no, I think their biggest thing would have been publishing Stardew Valley.
Oh, for
Looking through
sure.
the list, I'm not seeing anything. Even in the publishing, I don't see anything else that's anywhere near as big. So, wonder how much money they made from publishing that. Probably a decent
Mm.
amount.
Enough to fund this game.
Well, exactly. That's that money won't last forever, considering they're no longer the publisher. But
Mm.
it's clearly enough to let them do some stuff, which is always nice. Next up, Japanese Rural Life Adventure have announced their 1.3.0 update, which is out now, and it adds treasures to the areas, so you can find treasures and donate them to the museum. What
Ooh.
an original idea.
That's a cute art style.
Yes. Yeah. I like the look of it.
Yeah, I don't know a
It's
ton
it's
on
in
this about this game, but
it's in the bucket of I sure would like to play this at some point, but I don't think it's going to be prioritized above most of the other games that I'm playing. So will I ever actually get to it? Who knows? It has been reviewed very well. It's very positive on
Mhm.
Steam. So
Yeah, if the circumstances were as such as if I could play this game, would
yeah,
love to do that one day.
I wish I had infinite time to play infinite games, but sadly we do
Yeah,
not.
we do not.
Next up, Cult of the Lamb, in
Woohoo.
possibly their weirdest update yet, have released a 2 Point Museum collab. This is a free update, and they say, that's right, the lamb is going on a field trip. Curate your followers, earn devotion, and perform rituals for your very own museum cult in the latest update for 2 Point Museum. Following the
That's
teachings of
right.
Ratau, the hallowed ground which was his is now yours. Build a shrine to demonstrate your faith, gather delicious devotion, and gather your followers. By your hand, our cult will grow more powerful than any could have imagined. And I just realized based on that, that makes it sound like the update is actually in 2 Point Museum, but I thought the update was in Cult of the Lamb.
Yeah, I'm confused because I'm reading it and I'm like, wait, which one?
Hmm.
Uh,
I think this actually, yeah, okay, so this is not in Cult of the Lamb. This is in 2 Point Museum.
okay. Okay,
So there we
yeah,
go.
that's no clarification there. Side note, they have a board game coming out for Cult of the Lamb.
They do, yes.
Very cool. Oh, Kickstarter, of course. Very cool.
Yeah.
That looks
The Cult of the Lamb stuff in 2 Point Museum does look very Cult of the Lammy. It's quite nicely translated to the 3D art style they have, but keeping the kind of, feel of Cult of the Lamb, I feel.
uh I thought it might have been hard to translate over, but maybe not.
Well, hard doesn't mean they can't succeed.
Well, no, you expectations subverted.
Yeah. So if you want your own museum cult, go play 2 Point Museum. We also have 4 new games to talk about. There are actually more games than this that are on my list of new games because my goodness, the summer is a long time when you're away for 6 weeks. But I'm only going to cover 4 in this episode because that is in and of itself a lot of games to cover in the new games section.
Yeah, but me and Kevin might have to do another update. News catch up.
Well, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. If I manage to fit all the other ones into the next week and there's no other new games, then we'll be fine. But we shall see. So first up, Focus Grove. Focus Grove is a work companion that grows with your progress. Build your farm, use productivity tools, and unlock new content by completing your real life tasks. Improve your focus, well-being, and work-life balance. So this is a Rusty like, as we call it, which is a game that plays on the bottom part of your screen while you do other things.
Can't do it.
Yeah, well, it's
As
a
cute as it
very
looks.
specific kind of game for a very specific kind of person. Let's put it that way. Um,
I'm an all or oh, I see. Okay, I see. Like you set your own timers and stuff, and
yes, yes. So the idea is that this ties in with to-do lists and notepads and I think it's got a Pomodoro timer and stuff like that. And so the idea is you grow things by doing your tasks, etc. So it's trying to be a productivity tool.
oh, okay, maybe then. Maybe I'm in.
Maybe you
Maybe
can
I'm
just
in.
make fake tasks. Um, this is always my problem with these things. It's like, oh, great. So I can just lie to myself.
That's the thing. Like I'm not holding myself accountable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I totally did that task in this time
Mm.
to get my reward. What are you talking about?
Stand up, tick.
Tick.
Scroll TikTok, tick.
Yeah. Oh my
Um,
gosh. Okay, well, yeah, I can see how this could help not me.
the list of
I
features:
could,
Pomodoro timer, task tracker, ambient nature sounds for better focus, habits tracker, notepad with tabs, relaxing, no stress farming, cute woodling. I assumed that would have been woodland, but it says woodling. Cute woodling companions, tips from personal growth trainer, work statistics, fishing album, adjustable tools layout, and gentle growth reminders. My actual real problem with these games, things that integrate with a to-do list, is they never integrate with my existing to-do list. So why am I going to like create my to-do list in a game when I already have my to-do list that is on my phone, on all my devices, set up exactly the way I want it? You got to integrate with third-party to-do lists if you want me to ever do anything with this.
you think so, right? But this way you can get your cute woodland companions. But yeah, it would be handy to just be able to like export from an app you already use.
Well, it doesn't even need to export. These things have APIs, right? Like connect
Wow.
to my existing thing, and then when I take it off in my existing app, it just goes into the game. That would be good, please, and thanking you. I guess the problem is it's probably designed towards people who don't already have to-do lists and stuff like that. But
I'm just picturing a government worker like putting their important list on here, and then there's some privacy breach in Focus Grove.
yeah,
Whoops.
we there was one we I don't know whether you listened to this episode or not, Chelsea, but there was one where it was based things grew based on how much you typed on the keyboard. And the problem with that is that it knows exactly which key you're pressing, so it's a keylogger. Like it
Oh
gets your
my gosh.
passwords.
Ah!
Like obviously there's a high chance that they're not storing any of that, but like there's a lot of trust in that, right? Like
Yeah.
I don't really
Here's my
want
banking info.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't really want us to yeah, no thank you. So
Cute idea
um
in theory.
yes, in theory. Next up, Island Farmer. Arrange the farm islands and see your archipelago expand. Just swap the blocks of a 3D jigsaw puzzle. So,
Ooh.
this is a little block-based farming game where you put things together to build up an island with crops and trees and water, houses, etc.
Etc.
It's
Yeah, like
etc.
that's cute.
Farms are set up in
Oh,
islands over calm and clear water in this tiny fantasy experience that's easy to do and very relaxing, just like a 3D jigsaw puzzle. Carefully observe the island, try to memorize it, then shuffle the blocks,
oh no, no, no.
swap blocks to reproduce the desired island, and it will compose the archipelago. Yeah, no, I don't want this. That suddenly very much put me off. I don't want this to be has to be in a specific. Yeah, no.
No. That's great. Yeah. For oh, and turn the camera. No, no, no. So I'm watching the trailer. Turn the camera. Zoom in and out and memorize the puzzle. No, I'm not doing
No,
that. But
definitely not.
love that
Like
for
I
people who would
suspect
like
the
that.
early ones are, quite easy to do, right? Because it's like, oh, well, obviously that needs to go there because it just needs to be a farm, right? But like then, yeah, no, there's going to be more complicated ones. I can't memorize all that. Sorry.
I'm getting overwhelmed just looking at this trailer.
I like the idea of this if it was just like, oh, try and get to like an efficient farm or, try and make it nicely laid out and then
Yeah.
you could do something and be happy with it. But the fact that it's like, no, you have to get the specific blocks in specific places.
No, yeah, if they were to say like 3 grass, 2 dirt, like configure it how you want, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I don't
But
know.
that
I
is
start
out, that is also out now, if that sounds like your jam.
we sold it so well.
We look, someone out there is like, this is absolutely my jam because I am a jigsaw master and I like farming and therefore this is what I want.
Yeah, no, there's something out there for everyone.
I also think the problem is that it doesn't have the fatal flaw this has with compared with jigsaws is it's not you can't be certain you've put it in the right place until you've put everything down. Whereas with jigsaws, they click together and you're like, oh yeah, that's clearly together. And like the image is clearly matching up and stuff like that. Where it's like here you're like, oh well, this farming thing goes next to this farming thing, but there's 6 different farming things here and they all look identical. Which one goes
Yeah.
where, and like it doesn't work the same way as a jigsaw does.
Jigsaw like.
Jigsaw, it did say like a jigsaw, but yeah, I think it misses the advantages that jigsaws have.
Yeah, the instant, yes, you did it, or no, it's wrong.
Yeah. Next up.
See, if you want to force yourself to play that game, you can just put that with your Focus Grove and say, I played 30 minutes of Island Farmer.
I don't tend to
Uh,
want to play games because I feel I have to. I know that's complicated because I have this podcast, and so certain people would probably debate me on that. But generally, I like to play games because I enjoy them. Generally.
I gotta lock in on Island Farmer for this podcast.
Next up, Spirit Stead. Build a village in a world of magic and care for the people who live there. With the help of hidden spirits you discover along the way, watch your town grow and flourish as you expand, create, and decorate. That is such a generic thing description. What I will say is that the visuals are very interesting. It almost looks hand drawn, kind of cartoony hand drawn type thing.
It is very, very bright.
It is quite bright, yeah. Trying to describe this is hard.
It's almost like 90s anime, but like in
Hmm.
a different color scheme. I don't know how to explain this, but it's not quite, I don't know. Google image it, guys.
Yeah. Well, you don't even need to do that. The link's in the show notes.
Well, there you go.
However, I I can't decide if I like the look of this game. I think it looks quite pretty, but I don't know if I want my game to look like this. Like everything seems just slightly too small and far away for me to be able to truly enjoy what I'm looking at.
That's true. If you don't have the option to zoom in a little bit, you're kind of looking at the whole page the whole time.
Yeah, it almost just feels like a painting rather than a game.
Yeah,
Um,
it'd be cute if like maybe the cutscenes were this style, and then you could manipulate it a bit easier when you're actually playing it. But I don't think it changes.
no, the trailer doesn't seem to actually show gameplay. It just shows like a time lapse of the village being put together.
Mhm.
So I can't be certain exactly how it actually works gameplay wise.
There's fishing.
There's fishing, just what we
There's
want.
fishing. Yeah. Yeah, looking through the photos, it is super zoomed out the whole time. So I think that's how it just is.
Yeah, and in terms of like everything else, the graphics is the most interesting thing about this game. Everything else looks kind of pretty generic town builder,
Mhm.
with also for some reason a first person fishing mini game.
Yeah, everything. And then you
Feels
get
so
your.
out of place there.
It does. It does.
Uh, well, there you go. That is also out now. And finally, speaking of city builders, neighborhoods,
Mhm.
which drove me insane for a while because I kept spelling it wrong because it's the American spelling.
I know. There's a U.
Neighborhoods is a cozy city sim where you shape streets to help people thrive, gather, and develop strong opinions about a particular bench. We are reimagining the city builder as a city fixer.
Unreal description.
Yes. So this also has an interesting graphics. It almost looks like clay.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does.
Like it's very interesting looking, and I would love to know how they made it look like this because it really does just look like, you know, an Aardman animation.
Yeah, that's really. I'm just watching the trailer, kind of surprised. But yeah, you're right. It looks like a almost stop motion clay scenery.
But the animations they have down as well, it all looks like it's stop motion, which is very interesting.
It is.
Sadly, I think that's the most interesting thing about this game. Ooh, I feel like I've heard that before.
Oh well, release date to be announced. So we cannot make our verdict just yet.
Yeah, to be announced, and it is coming to early access. So, insert your opinions about early access. Cities are living things, sometimes in desperate need of some life-saving care. Design blocks with plants, murals, lights, pocket parks, bike lanes, and other small civic miracles. Cultivate local businesses so they can provide groceries, shopping, activities, and that tragic necessity of capitalism, jobs. Tend to neighbours so they can be happy where they live, live somewhere they can afford to stay long enough to put down roots, make choices, and watch as different blocks take on their own identities, from the fun-loving block party host to the mellow artist collective to the much feared business district. I do find it funny that they say that like jobs is the tragic necessity of capitalism. Now, I'm not going to be a defender of capitalism, but other societies and ways of organizing your society also generally require jobs, right? Like that's just a society thing.
The capitalism of hospitals.
Yeah, like people doing things is generally needed for a society. How you want to describe
Yes.
that does depend on your organization of that society, but it still generally requires people doing things.
Yes. Oh my goodness. I feel like the mayor of my city needs to play this game because they have this idea of 15-minute like neighborhoods or
Mhm.
yeah, so that we don't need public transit and stuff, and it's just not
Yep.
working.
No, that's not the point of 15-minute cities is not needing public transport. That's not the point.
Well, run for mayor in my town, Al,
I feel like
please.
they have completely misunderstood what the point of 50. It's like we have
Yep.
two different people misunderstanding 15-minute cities. The people who think it's for some reason a communist plot, um, which I'm just going to say this: those people are insane. And but I've never heard this one before. This is an interesting one. So they think that because
Oh,
15-minute cities, the point generally is that everything that you need on a daily basis is within 15 minutes walk of where you live. That
yes.
doesn't mean we don't need public transport.
I'm gonna add this in the show notes because it's such a debate in our city. Like,
What?
also, it's crazy. I can't even explain the debacle going on.
I don't understand that concept because like yeah, just because you live somewhere where you can access all the things you need on a daily basis within 15 minutes doesn't mean you never want to go anywhere else.
Exactly. So they're like, oh well, to discourage parking lots and maximize space, including public transit. Let's just walk everywhere, and then you're good. You need your grocery store, your pharmacy, your clinic. That's it. That's all you
But
need for society. That's
okay,
it.
but like if they're trying to discourage car parks, which I think is a laudable goal, you kind of need the public transport for that.
Kind of.
No,
Um,
like
yeah, and
do they think that people are just never going to leave their 15-minute area? Is that what they're
well,
thinking?
yeah, because we have a big LRT system that was supposed to be built in 2018. It's 20 almost 2027, and we have one part of one area of the town, and it was made by a company that this is such a weird tangent.
No,
It was
no, go
made
for
by a
it.
company that only is proficient in warm weather rail,
Ah,
and so half of our
in Canada.
winter, yeah, in Ottawa, where it's freezing and wet, so
Wow.
the line is down half the time, and it's just, oh my, I can't. Yeah, I'm putting this in the show notes. Please just
Yes,
look at the
please
infrastructure
do.
plan for
Please
Ottawa
do.
because
I
it's
will
a
link that in the show
disaster.
notes. It just
Oh,
this absolutely fascinating. Like, uh, it's such a misunderstanding of the whole concept. Also, one thing I find that people seem to misunderstand quite often is they seem to think that the 15-minute cities is like self-contained. Like you can
yeah,
only go within your own 50. But like the 15-minute city is not like here's this 15-minute city, here's this 15-minute city, here's this 15-minute city. It just means that like everyone has the things they need within 15 minutes of themselves, but that doesn't mean it's all for like all the same place, right? Like it doesn't mean
exactly.
that
No,
like here's a 15-minute circle, it has all of the things in it, and then the everyone on the edges has to go to the middle. It's like no, you can go to a different one, right? Like it just means that everyone can have those things within 15 minutes of themselves. It's like how the capitalist version of this is how McDonald's tried to have like no one within a certain distance farther away from McDonald's within cities, right? I can't remember what it is. People say different things, right? But like the idea is that everybody is within a certain distance of a McDonald's.
oh my goodness.
But it doesn't mean that there's a specific McDonald's that they want you to go to. That would be insane.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I'm adding this in the show notes because yeah, sorry neighborhoods, you got me fired up.
Bizarre, bizarre. So
Yeah.
anyway, back to the game. Uh, I think it's an interesting idea of in because one of the problems, I guess, of city builders is they're quite the green field, right? Like you start off with nothing and then you create a city, and it's very almost the capitalist ideal of a city is like, we are going to design a city now, and it's like nothing exists and we're going to make it, but that's not how life works most of the time, right? You
Nope.
have cities generally, even in North America, cities generally have been built up over a long time. Some cities longer than others, but they've still generally been built up over, hundreds of years.
Yes.
And so things just don't you can't just ignore them, right? It's like the typical how, Central Park, before it was built in New York City, before it was built, there were neighborhoods there, right? People lived in those areas and they wanted to make a park, which is a laudable goal. But to do that,
Yes.
they kicked a whole bunch of people out of their houses who generally happened to be non-white people because of course they did.
Mhm.
Um, and so the history of that is a history of people being displaced. And so generally you don't just get to look at here's a fresh area we need to build something. You generally have to look at an existing area and say, how can we improve this? And I do like that idea that this is trying to focus on that. That's an interesting idea, and I like the graphics. How it actually ends up doing it in practice is a question that I don't think we'll have an answer for just now.
I might just play this game out of spite. But no, like it's a good idea. But yeah, like I said, I living in where I live is a personal vendetta against this kind of thing.
Fun times.
Oh yes.
All right. That's our news.
Woo.
Woo. Let's talk about Moonlight Peaks.
Yeah.
So, I like to start off talking about these games by giving a quick description of them, and then Chelsea can tell me how she thinks I did.
Okay.
So, I would describe this game as Stardew but vampires. And I think that's all
Yep.
I need to say.
Yep. That's our show.
I mean, obviously, there's a lot more to talk about, but in
Yes,
terms of
but
like
yeah.
a high level description of a game, I think that is probably the easiest way to sell someone on this game. Have you wanted to play Stardew but be a vampire? And if the answer is yes, then I think I play this game.
Yes.
Uh,
Uh
all right. Before we get into the details, then, uh, Chelsea, what do you think of the game overall?
I'm enjoying it.
First of all, how
Um
much have you played, etc., etc.? Where are you in the game? That sort of
so
stuff.
I'm only 11 hours, but I'm a slow player. The thing for me is give me a task and I'm doing it. So I just I think I'm 20 some days into the game
Okay.
and I just unlocked the barn, which is because I'm so poor in this game.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. I hope it eases up as you go on, but I've been making like wine and stuff because
Yeah.
apparently
Yeah.
that's the big seller at the start. Anyway, no, I've been enjoying it. I find that there is a lot to do at the start, but it does stall quite a bit to the point where you're just kind of I'm spending my day in the mine.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not even I'm like neglecting everybody.
I think you might not be surprised to know that that does continue. I think my biggest thing about this game that I would say to people is the pacing is very weird.
Yes.
Some things go really, really slowly, and some things absolutely zoom past. And I'm not saying it's necessarily a bad thing, but because part of the thing about these games is the monotony of them is well, it's a benefit, right? It's why we play these games because we like the monotony, right?
Yeah, the
We
predictability
like
of your
the
day.
mindless farming. That's one of the things that people like.
Yeah,
Um,
I honestly thought at the start, I thought I missed a big part of the beginning because I'm like, is this what I'm supposed to do?
yeah, yeah,
And that may have just been me, but I think you're right with the pacing because some of it I've done so many character stories already, and then other days I'm just in the mine
yeah, 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 yeah.
processing iron.
Well, I mean, so yeah, so I think there's two examples that I'll use just now before we get into the details of why I think the pacing is off. First up is in the mine. You don't get gold in the mine until very late in the game. Like I was nearly done the story when I unlocked the ability to get gold.
Okay.
Because the way, and that's going to be the case for anyone, because the places in the mine that have gold are unlocked through story progression rather
Okay,
than
yeah.
independent of that story progression. And for some reason, they're quite well. So there's a first part that unlocks, I feel like it's maybe like 60% through the story. You unlock transformations, right? You can, because you have you unlocked the first transformation?
I'm a cat. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, yeah. So
I did
you
that like
you
day really
you can
early.
yeah, so you can have three transformations in this game. It's actually one of the things I really like about this game is the transformations. So you
Yes.
um can you first of all have the ability to transform into a cat, and that allows you to run really fast, and there's like a few areas you can get to because you're smaller now, stuff like that. But then there are two other transformations you get, um which the first one unlocks an area in the mine that has, on most days, maybe one gold stone that you can use. So you can
Okay.
very slowly get gold, but like it takes forever and you have to be doing it every single day. And it takes a long time to get there every single day.
It does. It does.
And then the third transformation gets you to an area that has more gold in it. But that is basically the end of the story.
Okay, I'll ask at the end if you don't want to spoil it.
What the transformations are.
Yeah, I know. I think I know what the third one is,
Do you know
but
what
I
the
won't.
second
I
one
won't.
is?
No. Um, is one of them water related?
Yes.
Okay. And then I don't know what one of the other one is.
I'll put it, let me add it to the show notes. I'll add it near the end.
Okay. Okay.
We'll have a little spoiler section at the end where we can talk about that.
Yeah, because I've been on that Moonlight Peaks Reddit, and there's probably nothing surprising me anymore. Because I was looking, I'm like, I have to be missing something.
Yeah, no,
What am
you
I
probably
doing?
are.
But
We'll get
yeah.
we'll get to that. We'll get to that. We'll get to that. So
Yes.
that's one of the things I find really weird is gold is really hard to come by until you're basically finished the story.
Yeah.
And secondly, there is a greenhouse that you can get in this game, but you get it through completing by getting the museum to 80% completion.
Okay.
And first up, you probably don't even know there's a museum. You've probably not even, well, you might know it because you've seen it somewhere, but you've probably not unlocked a museum yet.
I have not unlocked the museum. I
Because
know, yeah, I saw
be,
people raving about the update for that.
because you get the museum through the story. And it's like
Yeah.
maybe like 50% of the way through the story before you unlock the museum. And then you have to get it to 80% before you unlock the greenhouse, which is just
So I
such a
should,
bizarre idea. Like, I understand the idea that you don't get the greenhouse very early on because it's, a very powerful thing to get. But 80% museum
yeah,
completion?
I was expecting
Mad.
like an Animal Crossing, like, oh, Blathers is here. I was like, oh, is there going to be a new person to open up this? I thought maybe it was the like Luna, but
So that does happen. You do get more people, and that will lead you to the story part where you open the museum. I
okay.
just find it really weird. There's 80%. Like, I have completed the game and I'm at 60% completion in the museum.
So I shouldn't have been selling my fish.
I oh, definitely shouldn't be selling your fish.
Oh no,
I just, the some of the pacing is just really weird. I don't,
it is.
but I got to the point where, and they've actually nerfed this in an update, is that I got to a point where I was making a lot of money, very kind of medium game.
They nerfed
Um,
it.
they nerfed it. They've reduced the price of wine and stuff like
Oh
that, which is
no, that's
very
my money
annoying. And I'm
maker.
like, I don't feel like that solves your pacing issues. I know what you're trying to do. It doesn't solve your pacing issues, and it just makes people annoyed.
Yeah, because I find already, I don't know if has the update taken place. Yeah, I don't know because for me, wine I sell it at 360. I think is that
Yeah.
after the no? Yeah, that's after.
The update came out on Friday, so
Okay, so
you've
I'm not
probably
sure,
been selling
but
at the old price. I can't remember the
yeah,
exact prices. That's not how my brain works.
yeah, but I feel like I'm so slow because I'm getting all these things and I'm like, okay, I just got enough to buy the barn.
Yeah. Uh,
Um, damn, like, oh wow, okay,
it's
yeah, that's
an annoying thing for them to do. Like, I understand the theory of balancing your game after it's released, but the problem is when it's a single player game, it just feels petty
well,
when
that's
you're
it. Like, who am I
reducing
comparing
things.
myself to? I can't see anyone. I can't compete with anybody.
Yeah.
Like,
If you want to try and fix your pacing, like, move other things up rather than pulling things down, right? Make other things
exactly.
better.
Yeah. Like
or make
lower
things
the
more
length of
expensive
crops or
if you must,
something.
right? Like don't reduce what people can say because it just makes it feel rubbish, especially as like the like grapes are repeating crops, and the way this game does them is like repeating crops are essentially infinite until the end of the season, which if you have a greenhouse is forever. But we'll get to that. We'll get to that.
Okay. That's annoying. That's just petty for the sake of petty, I think.
It is. It is. But we'll get to that because I've not had a lot of time to think about that because that only dropped 2 days ago, that update.
Okay.
But I'm sure we'll talk about that.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So I don't think you've answered the question. How do you enjoy the game? I think you got to the point of how far you've gotten in. How are you enjoying it so far?
I am enjoying it, but yeah, like we've said, the pacing is really throwing me off because I feel like I'm so behind, but other parts I feel ahead because I feel like I've really progressed with some of the characters, but then I'm still waiting for the barn to be built. I'm still
Yeah.
getting all these basic tools. Um, I only have two copper tools, and the rest are still rusty.
Yeah.
I am enjoying it though.
Do,
Um,
do you know? I think
yeah.
actually, I think another issue with the pacing is that in Stardew, if you hit a point in your main story where you're not progressing things, you can then go and like progress the mine because the whole point of that mine is you are trying to get to the bottom, right? So like every day you can go in and do like a 5 levels and unlock another level on the lift to get back down to that. Whereas this mine is just like a single level. There's nowhere to go.
Okay, I
Except
wanted to ask in terms of that, is there a way to fast travel?
yes, there is, but you
Okay, not
won't
just
get it
as a
for a
pet.
long time.
Okay.
There are two ways of fast travel. I'll talk about them. We'll talk about them, I think, later on. But there are two ways of fast traveling,
Okay, that gives me some hope because I'm getting frustrated.
but they're not great fast traveling.
Okay, okay. Yes, I
I just
okay.
want to clarify. I do like this game. I'm going to complain a lot about this game as we go through
It's
this
because we
podcast episode,
care
but
that
I
we
do
want it.
genuinely like this game. This has been a really good Stardew like.
Yes.
All right, graphics wise, I guess it's kind of I would describe it as kind of chibi-esque characters in a shiny 3D world,
Yeah.
obviously based on you know uh, uh like a
Spooky.
vampire town, but it's more than vampires. But we'll talk about that later. Like a
Mhm.
mythical
Yeah.
creatures town.
Yes.
What do you think about the graphics?
I think they're pretty good. I know that there's a way to change the art style. I have not
Oh,
tried it yet.
oh
That's
boy.
okay.
Have you
That's
heard
a
the
whole other thing.
controversy of that?
No.
Okay, so
What is it?
there is like with most games, there's the portraits that show up when you're talking to someone, and their art style is a little bit different from the main art style, right? Like all of the models running around the town are chibi-esque, and the character portraits are different. They're much more kind of not realistic, but like more detailed and stuff like that, less shiny, I would call them. And then there
They're like,
is a second version of the portraits. Now, the real problem, the controversy around the second version of the portraits is so it's anime style. But the controversy is that every character that has a non-white ethnicity, there are black characters, there are Asian characters, etc. All of them. Now, this is not me saying this because I'm not an expert in these sorts of things, but a lot of people say that the anime style kind of homogenizes the features of those characters and means that like traditionally black facial features are not there anymore.
okay.
And so they all just end up looking kind of anime style, which doesn't have the most
Yeah.
intricacies for different facial features and styles, and just a lot of those things end up being, oh, it just looks like generic anime person.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I heard it was basically like a yassified version,
Yeah, that too.
but like smoothed over and yeah, not much diversity.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
the characters are obviously still different ethnicities. It's just that you can only really tell that because of their skin color, you know,
Okay. Yeah.
um, which is not particularly great.
No.
And I suspect is probably why that's kind of hidden away as a setting.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
they're like, you know what? We you can look for it if you want, but we're
yeah,
not. Yeah.
I'm confused as to why they did that at all.
I can't. I could not tell you to be honest.
Like, hey, I want my characters to be less human.
I want my vampire to look less human.
well, it's not even that because there are humans in the game as well,
Yeah,
and
that's true.
the
Yeah.
humans that are in the game are black characters.
Yes.
Uh, yeah,
Yeah,
I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
They could have done it a little better.
Yeah, it's just a bit icky,
Hmm.
a bit icky.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I think I generally agree with you. I think the overworld graphics are fine. I don't dislike them. I don't think they're particularly amazing. I like a lot of kind of the small touches to these things, but like the character models in the overworld are just kind of fine. I do think that the main portraits are quite good. I think uh, you know, as we've talked about, there is generally a good diversity within the town on those portraits. And yeah, the
Yeah.
anime style ones are particularly not great. Um, but if you want to do that, then I guess that's an option you can do. Um,
Just to see how it, yeah.
yeah, yeah. One thing I would say about graphics is that, so as background for this, one of the things that makes this game unique is because you're a vampire, your days are actually nights. So instead of being up during the day, you're up during the night. And that's an
Hmm.
interesting idea, but here's my problem with it is that as your day continues, it gets darker and darker and then it gets lighter and lighter. So in the middle of the day, it's hardest to see things, which doesn't feel like the right way around. And I know what's happening and I know why it's happening. And I'm not saying it's wrong thematically. It just in terms of gameplay, it's not ideal that in the middle of the day it's hardest to see things.
Right. No, I agree with that. I also love that you sleep in a coffin.
Yes, yes. Well, you're a vampire. Where else are you going to sleep? I actually, it's
It's
really funny because
adorable.
you can have beds. You can get a bed and you put it in your house, but you can't sleep in them. If you go to interact with them, they go, "Ew, it looks uncomfy." I just enjoyed that because I was
Give
like,
me
"Oh,
my
can I
wood
sleep in a bed
box.
rather than there?" No, you cannot.
No, you cannot.
Also, just a thing that you might encounter at some point. See if you ever fall asleep or you go, not go to sleep because you can't do it. You can't go to sleep normally without interacting with your coffin. But if you were to remove your coffin from the house, put it in your inventory, and then wait until the point where you auto sleep, you wake up confused on the floor because there's no coffin.
It's amazing.
Anyway, we'll get
I
to all
love
those
that.
mechanics in a bit.
Okay, okay.
So let's get to the mechanic details then. I debated so long and hard about which order to do these in, but I think we need to go with magic first
Okay.
because the magic affects so many different parts of the game. And I think if I get to farming and I'm trying to explain the magic part of farming, I don't think it makes sense unless I've described magic in general.
That's a good
Have
starting
you
point.
unlocked the magic in the game?
Yes.
Okay, good. I presume you just have the dodgy wand. I can't remember what it's called, like the
Yes, I
fixed
have the
wand.
fixed wand
That's
with
what it is.
one spell. Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Yeah, cool. So, you are a vampire, but you are the child of Dracula and a witch, and therefore you are both a vampire and you can also be a magic user. Which means that at some point in the game, quite early on, you unlock the ability to get a wand and unlock spells. These are different
Yes.
spells that we'll talk about as we go through the different sections, but essentially, they work by you have a mana, which is a different kind of energy than your normal energy, and you each spell has a different mana cost. And
Yes.
so to use the spell, you have to have a certain amount of mana. And then when you do the spell, you use it up. I quite like what they did with the casting of the spells. Essentially, it's a little kind of visual mini game where you each spell has a specific shape you have to make out. In like it's a circle, but there's like 5 points on it. There's the middle, and then there's a point at the top, the bottom, the right, and left, and you have to make a shape between those ones. So, for example, you can fill your watering can by going from the middle to the right, to the bottom, to the left, and then back to the middle. And I think that was it. And that
It's
fills your
similar to
watering
that.
can for you.
Yeah, it
So
was cool how it's set up that way.
yeah, so different spells have different shapes, which is interesting. And when you learn them, you like the spell goes into your book, so you can always go back and look at what it was. But the ones you use regularly, you just remember over time.
Yes. So far, I just have one. So I know that one.
is which one is that? Is that the
The
watering one?
watering.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the first one I got. I think that's for everybody because you
Yeah.
do the magic crops at the start.
Yes. Yes. Which we'll come to in the farming.
Yes.
Um, One thing I really don't like about the magic, every day when you sleep, you regain one mana, and there's no way to increase that. The only other way to gain mana is making uh potions and drinking, or potions or specific foods and drinking them to gain back your mana. So you always have to have like a if you ever want to do any magic, you have to make specific consumables. Now there is one that I made that is really nice, and I just kept using that one because it was quite an easy one to do. But it doesn't feel great that there's no way to increase that. It's like how if every day you woke up, you only gained a quarter of your no, your stamina, you'd really struggle to do much, especially early game, because you'd have to keep making food to be able to do anything at all, because there's so
Mhm.
little you can do with a quarter of your stamina. It's the same sort of thing with the mana. I would like it to have increased more. Like, I feel like give us less mana, less max mana to start with, but fully fill it overnight. Like, it just feels weird that it only increases one, no matter how much you increase your max mana over time, it still only ever increases one when you sleep.
Yeah, it is a very slow regeneration.
Um, Especially as for certain things, it's the only way of doing automation, which we'll get into in the farming.
Yes.
Blah blah blah. You unlock more spells by buying them in the magic shop.
Oh,
It's
haven't
fine.
done that yet.
Yeah, you'll get there.
I don't have spell
Let's.
money. I just have barn money.
Yeah, barn money. Um, I will say if you're doing the barn for the story, that's fine. I would say don't invest too much in animals because they're not particularly great money making things in this game.
Okay, good to know.
I think that's most of the magic stuff. There how many spells are there? Eight, I think. Let me double check.
I think it's 8 or 12.
Yeah, it's 12 different ones, and I
Okay.
have them all.
Oh, do the casting patterns get more difficult?
Not difficult, no, they're just different shapes. I
Okay.
like some of them are quite nice. So like the axe one looks so what there's one that you can chop down trees automatically, and it kind of looks like an axe. And there's a pickaxe
Cute.
one the same, but it looks very much like a pickaxe as you're doing it, which is a bit fun. What I will say, there's one really nice one that for refilling your watering can that I mentioned earlier, which costs no mana to cast. So that's really nice.
Hmm.
So you can use that an infinite number of times. Um, all right, let's talk about farming then, because that's what we're all here for. Farming game. We got farming.
In
So
theory.
mo most of this farming is pretty standard. You have a seed, you put the seed, you hoe the ground, till the ground. I never remember the word. You till the ground, you put the seed in, you water it, it grows. You have a scarecrow, you have different types of crops that need different amounts. Some crops you harvest it and that's it gone. Some crops you harvest it and it regrows, blah, blah, blah. All the standard farming game stuff. One thing that's different is that the watering is not so in if you think about Stardew watering, you like water you press A to water, you move, you press A to water that one, you move, you press A to water that one. This one works differently, and I both like and dislike it at the same time for different reasons. So the way this works is you have your watering can and it waters within like a certain radius of where you are, which includes any blocks that within that radius, which is nice. So you can just like hold down the button and keep walking, and it will water everything in front of you as you're going. So it's not like start, stop, start, stop. It's hold the button and walk, and it can water everything. But,
Yes.
but here's my problem with it. It's quite hard to know whether you've watered the ground or not fully.
Yep. Yep.
And sometimes you will miss it and not notice that you've not fully watered it. You've partially watered it, but not fully watered it, and there, but you don't notice that. And so the next day, one of your plants hasn't grown.
Yep. And that's part of the problem of having the peak of the day be the darkest.
Yes, absolutely.
Also, apparently at the start, rain doesn't water them.
It does.
Apparently, there was like, I don't know if this is at the very beginning, but I saw someone say that rain doesn't water your crops, but I don't know if that
It
was.
doesn't. It doesn't water magic crops, but it does water
No.
normal
Okay.
crops.
Okay. Okay. Good to know. But yeah, I've missed so many. Like, oh, I'll be able to harvest this, and the next day, nope, it wasn't watered.
Yeah, so frustrating, especially as I will generally do like big blocks of the same crop, and so then you have one that's not growing the rest of them, and then it just looks annoying and out of.
It does.
And I'm like, I kind of just want to water that one crop for today and then leave the rest of them so they're all the same. But no, I don't do that, obviously, because that would be stupid. But I think about it, I consider it because it's
Yeah,
very annoying.
fried in your brain.
Yeah, yeah. Because my brain is broken. That's why I want to do that. Um, so the next thing is there are a different type of crops called magic crops. And these are generally not edible crops, but you use them for getting mana essence, which is what you use to then make potions and stuff like that, and either refill your mana, stamina, or do other things like you can get one that like I can't even remember any of the potions. Oh, I've got them here. Let me look at them. We've got there's one that allows you to chop wood without draining your energy. There's one for fish instantly biting. Uh,
Ah,
there's a few others for not draining your energy. There's one which is called the sunscreen potion. It says provides protection from the sun, which you might think means that you can stay up later. Does not mean that.
oh, I was gonna say, oh, the day gets longer.
No, it does not. It is for one
Oh,
very specific purpose that is a story related thing. Maybe I'll talk about that at the end.
okay.
So yeah, the mana is used for those things. And you can also like there are certain kinds of food that you can use. Like there's one which is called the mana cupcake, which
Mhm.
if you make that, it gives you two mana pack per thing, and it's quite easy to make. It just only requires two ingredients, one of which is the mana essence, and one of which is the what's it called, the moon fruit, I think it was.
Yeah, that's what I have so far. I've been making like the moon juice potion.
Yeah, so the
Yeah.
the the mana cupcake is my go-to because it's so quick and easy to make.
Okay.
So that's how but the interesting thing about the magic. There's two interesting things about the magic crops. One is that you can't water them normally. So rain doesn't water them and your watering can doesn't water them. What does water them is the magic watering cans.
Yes.
So that's the first spell you get is the magic watering cans, and that is you I think is it two mana it uses up, or is it just one?
I think it's just one.
Just one. And then you will get a watering can that goes out and waters a certain number of spots. As you can upgrade that spell, and eventually it will give you, as I look at my game, eventually it will water 144 crops.
Okay, so tell me why I put my well right next to my house, and then I look at every other guide, like, don't buy the well. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good to know that I don't need that right next to there.
Yeah, I never, by the time I actually would have bought the well because I, had done all the most of the other things I prioritized above it, I didn't need the well anymore. Because
Yeah, so
once you get the watering can refilling spell, you're not
yeah.
going to any water.
No. So that's just taken up a huge spot on my list
Oh
where
dear.
I could
It's all
put
right.
more
I think
crops.
you
You can
can
destruct
destroy
it
things,
or
yeah.
destroy it, yeah, but
So you need to use the watering can for the magic crops, but you can use them for normal crops as well. So this is basically the main automation for the game is the magic for the farming.
Mhm.
And there are no sprinklers or anything like that. Well,
Well,
there this is where it gets a bit complicated. So some of the magic crops do different things. So the general magic crops, they're just the same as normal crops, except that you have to magic water them. But some of them do different things. So for example, there's one that when it gets to a certain point, if you want to continue growing it, you have to manually water it as well. So you have to like fill it with water after it's watered with the magic watering cans
why?
because it gives you more mana.
Oh, okay.
The harder to grow magic crops are definitely worth it.
Okay.
There's one, and this is the best one in the game, but it's also the most annoying one. It's called the gobbler, And when it gets to a certain point, you have to feed it either a fish or a bug. It will say which one. So like it'll have a little icon above it that says that has a little bug icon or a little fish icon. And you have to go up to it and give it a fish or a bug and then it'll close. So it's like a Venus flytrap, but a
Oh,
fish trap.
interesting.
You
Yeah.
have to do that 2 days. And then once you've done it the second day, it's then fully grown. Those are incredible because they give you so much mana. But I did this. I decided, right, I'm going to do gobblers, and I put out 100 gobblers, and then I realized when the first one come up, I'm like, I don't have 100 fish and 100 bugs. So
Oh
I
my
spent I
God.
spent like a week hunting for fish and bugs to try and get these gobblers done, and I'm like, this was my biggest mistake. Don't put 100 gobblers. There's no
Now
need for that.
you're
But
playing Gobbler Simulator.
yeah, that was all I did for a week.
Oh my
The good thing
goodness.
is that once I'd done it all, I had more mana than I could ever want. Um,
Okay.
but
That's
yeah,
I can't even picture that. That's hilarious.
learn from my mistakes. 100 gobblers is too many.
So it's like 10, you
But
think?
those ones only grow in one season, so I was like, I better get as many done as I
Oh.
can, and then whoopsie.
The season's
But
done before you can finish feeding them.
this is leading me to the point of there when I said there are no sprinklers, that's not technically true, in that there is a magic crop that acts like a sprinkler.
Oh,
So you plant this one, and then after a couple of days of watering it, it will then magically water everything around it in
okay.
a 3 by 3 grid. So like a basic sprinkler in most farming games.
Nice.
Um,
Okay.
Now this is actually fine. I don't dislike this. I think it's actually quite fun. A different way of doing a sprinkler. There's two negatives to it. One of which is that it doesn't do it for the first 2 days. Sure, fine, whatever. That's not the end of the world. I'll spend a couple of days watering everything manually, and then it runs for like it takes 2 weeks to grow. So you like manually water
Oh my.
everything for 2 days, and then for 12 days it will automatically water everything. Great. I actually quite like that. That's not bad. And if you stagger it, then it means that like every day you're going to do a little bit of watering, but most things will be automatically watered. And then when they're fully grown and you have to harvest them, then other ones will do it. It's great. Actually,
Yeah.
there's a third thing. I'll get to the third thing first. The
Secret
third thing
third
is
thing.
that if you put it next to a specific other type of plant, it won't water because it's called the weeping wicken. And so if you put it next to what was it? Was it a forget me not, maybe? Then it's not sad anymore, it's happy, and so it won't cry and water all your crops. So you have to keep it
Oh my.
sad. So
Gotta keep it sad.
if you put a specific crop next to it, it becomes happy and doesn't water them. But that's just
No.
something you learn very quickly that that's a problem. But the real issue with it is that they only work in one season. They only grow in one
Uh,
season.
okay.
So
I haven't come across them yet.
they're a fun idea, and I think if they grew in every season, I wouldn't be complaining about the fact there's no sprinklers. But the fact that they exist only for one season is really annoying because you get into this habit of using them, and then it's like, oh, I'm now in autumn, I can't use them anymore.
Hmm.
Ah
Yeah,
well.
that's annoying.
And if you haven't
Well,
focused on upgrading your watering spell, which costs a lot of money to upgrade it, right? That it does 144 crops. I think that last upgrade was like 50,000 or something. It's
oh
expensive,
my God.
very expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's another example of their scaling is just a little bit off. And if I think if the Weeping Wiccan worked in every season, I would enjoy the farming a lot more.
Yeah, that seems really weird to have for one season only. I don't know.
It almost
That's a
feels
weird
like
choice.
it almost feels like it was a debate in the team of like, do we actually want this to exist or not? And the compromise was we can have it exist, but only in one season, you know?
Yeah, and they give you an extra task for the rest of the year.
Yeah, especially as like so many of the magic crops just work in every season. Not all of them, but a lot of them do work in every season. So it's not like
Yeah,
it would be the only one.
that's a choice.
Anyway, it is what it is. So I think overall the farming's fine. Obviously, as we've talked about, there's scaling issues and there's a couple of things with the automation that I think could be improved, but overall it's fine. There's a lot of so there's things like the kegs that make wine and stuff like that. They're mostly like Stardew, but you can put more than one in at a time. So you can put in up to 10 of anything that's generating. Like you've got your kegs, you've got the mill
The
for
mill,
making
yeah.
seed, not seeds, right,
Beer.
flour. That's what I'm looking
Oh,
for.
flour.
Flour and stuff like that. So any of these things that are like automated machines, you can put in up to 10 at a time rather than just one, which is nice because it's much less babysitting of them than there is in Stardew, where you had to live like, here's my 20 different mayonnaise machines, and you have to like run up it, putting one egg in every machine and then back down. So it feels a lot less, you know,
Yeah. Is there a
frustrating.
way to speed them up a bit as the game progresses? Or no?
I don't think so. Not that I'm aware of, but I think as you
Okay.
progress on, it's less of an issue because just like things end up happening more anyway because you're doing more stuff, right? Like
Yeah.
I have in my most recent spring and summer, I had, oh, how many was it? Let me just do the maths. I had 480 crops planted
Oh
in my
my.
most recent season, and in summer they were mostly grapes. And
Okay.
so, because I staggered them, I just always had my kegs running with wine in them.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm doing. I have the grapes and I'm just making wine.
Yeah. I don't think it's, I think because of like the size of your farm and everything, I don't think you're ever going to get to the point where you have too many crops for your stuff. And if you end up with too many grapes for your wine, then just grow something else instead. Because like the museum, one of the parts of the museum is having a two-star version of every crop. So it's like you're always wanting to grow something else. So I don't think
Okay.
that's a big problem.
I feel like I just don't have enough to do. Like I'm basically just, like I said, I'm in the mine, getting ore, getting iron, getting
Go
copper,
fishing.
trying to, yeah, and fishing. Yeah. Um, so yeah, I feel like I'm just trying to, I guess, level everything up now, so it's a little bit easier later on. But
Yeah.
you don't have to play that way. That's just how I play.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Which
So I think that's all the farming stuff. There's ranching. Obviously, you've not experienced that because you're building up for your
I just
barn.
bought my first chicken. Cheeken.
Yeah, so most of the animals are like a normal animal but slightly different. So the chickens are chickens and they're just like they're black instead of
And they have their
normal
googly
chicken colors.
eyes.
They're just a little they look a little bit dumb. The cows are, oh, give me a minute. Let me get the actual names up.
Like a drought cowla or something like that.
Cowcula, that's what they were called,
Oh,
yes.
okay. Oh.
So there's Cowcula. They're basically just a cow, but they have wings on. They have little wings on their back. You've got Draculam, which is obviously a sheep, and it works pretty much the same way. You get wool from it. You can also get milk from them as well. So you get different types of milk. But the fun thing about the Draculams is, oh, maybe I should. They're quite interested in revolution. They are always. Wait, are you aware that when you're in cat form, you can talk to animals?
No?
Okay, when you're in cat form, you can
Oh my
talk to
God.
animals, which is super fun. So
Game of the year.
when they're on your farm, you can talk to them and they will like tell you how happy they are. Whereas when you're a human and talk or a vampire and in human form and you're talking to them, you get like happy Draculam noises. So you get an idea that it's happy, but you're not quite sure why. Whereas if you go into cat form, they'll be like, "Oh, I'm not liking like I don't have any food," or they might be like, "Oh, I don't like being in the same barn as this other animal," or something like that. They'll give
Oh,
you reasons why they're
interesting.
unhappy when you're in cat form, which is really fun. And if you talk
Amazing.
to the Draculams, you will find out that they're very interested in the concept of revolution and you know overthrowing their oppressors and stuff like that. And it's very
Unreal.
interesting. And there's some story about that that happens as well, which is
Oh, I can't wait.
very fun that maybe I'll talk about in the spoilers section.
Yes. Oh, yeah, because I just bought my first chicken. So I haven't had a
Nice,
chance to even talk to it yet.
nice, nice.
That's cool. I love that.
So then there's a pig goat which is kind of just like a weird looking goat with horns, and they give you milk as well, a third type of milk.
That's a
And
lot.
then there's a bumpkin, which is a sentient pumpkin,
Oh dear.
which is very expensive. They cost 12,000, and they give you what's called plops, which very much looks like a poo, and it has exactly one usage, and that is to turn wheat into moonshine.
Amazing.
And then the next one is possibly my favorite animal. It's the stony. It is a giant stone with lots of eyes,
Okay.
and they give
Is
you heart stones, which I think the only point of them is just giving you stone. So you can, in the refiner,
oh,
you can turn one heart stone into 20 stone. I think that's the whole point, but they are very fun to talk to. I won't spoil everything, but they're fun to talk to in cat form.
awesome. I'm excited. See, my thing with the pumpkin is like, can you carve it? And then it's like screaming the whole time.
No, no, you can't.
Probably not. Oh, good. Okay. Feel
There
free
is
to cut that
also
out of the show.
apparently there's also apparently a rabicula. I have never encountered these in game. I didn't realize until
No.
now that they were a thing you could do, which is interesting.
Mm,
So there you go. Um,
cool.
they will give you luck dust, apparently, which is a potion ingredient. Uh, so you can use that in the love potion.
Okay.
But apparently the rabiculas will also eat your crops if you let them. So
Oh no.
you've gotta fence them in. Which reminds me, fences are fun in this game, but there are no gates. There are no gates to put into the fences in this game.
Yeah. No, I just have the haystack so far.
It's very annoying because you can create a nice long fence with no gate in it.
Yeah.
But it's not a problem now because I have the final form that I can use to bypass gates. But it's very annoying early on, and having a fence that you then have to like manually take down to move past, or like it's such a bizarre decision that there's no gates in this game.
Yeah. I wonder if they just couldn't get the physics of it or
I don't
something.
care. Don't release the game until that. It's not a difficult.
Give me gates. Gates gate.
All right. That's mostly ranching. They kind of work the same way. You give them crop, you give them fodder, they give you stuff. You pet them, they get happy, they give you bigger stuff. Great. Fine. Fishing. Let's talk about fishing.
Hmm.
What do you think about the fishing?
I don't mind it. I only have the first rod because the second one is 16,000 gold. So
Yeah.
I'm catching the smaller stuff, but I see the bigger figures in the water. But yeah, I don't mind it. Like you can reel it in, I think 2 or 3 times. I like it. What about you?
Yeah, so I guess just to give a quick explanation of how it works, it's kind of like the Animal Crossing one, but slightly different. So you throw or you cast your line into the water, and then you see some shadows, and if the shadow notices it, then it will go for it, and then after a certain number of times it'll grab onto it, and then you just hold the button until it comes to you. The couple of things that make it you can so instead of just pressing the button to fully reel it in, if you don't have a fish on it, you just like tap it and it will move slightly. So it's like sometimes if the fish hasn't noticed the line, you can like tap the button and it will pull it slightly, and then they'll be like, the fish will notice you and come and be like, oh, hello. And then it will grab on,
Mhm.
which you kind of have to do. And then the bigger ones, there are two different shadow sizes, and you can only get the big shadow size with the more expensive rod. So it's not
Yeah, that
particularly
seems like a
difficult.
late unlock.
Say again.
That seems like a late unlock though with the price of it.
Yeah. But certainly medium game. It's not insane. You can build up the money reasonably quickly mid game, but yeah, there's not really a huge amount of skill to the fishing. Like if you hold down the button, it will come and you're done. There's nothing. It's not particularly difficult.
Yeah, no, I don't think I've had anything let go or anything.
Yeah, if you just don't press the button, then it doesn't come. But then like press the button. What's next on my list? Because I don't have my list in front of me because I'm an idiot. Mining.
Catching. Oh, mining. Yes.
So mining, it's pretty self-explanatory. You have the pickaxe, you see a rock, you hit it, you get something.
That
Done.
is a task and a half at the start.
Yes, yeah, it takes a lot of energy to start with. Um, but over time you can decrease that with the higher pickaxes.
Yeah, I think I'm just at
Um,
the I have two copper tools right now, and I don't
nice.
see a huge difference, but
No, no, no.
I
The
see
the
the
to start
upgrades.
to start with you again with the scaling, like I don't think until the final one you really notice that you're taking fewer hits. But also by that point you've got a lot of mana and you just use the ethereal pickaxes to automatically do it.
Ooh.
So like by the time you've maxed that one out, 2 mana will break 48 rocks. Like that's a lot.
Wow. Okay, that's
Like
something to look forward to.
you can just walk through the mine and it kills everything and you just grab everything up. It's great.
Perfect, because I'm spending days and days and days
Yeah.
in that
Th-
mine.
This is the real advantage of the magic being the automation is that you can then expand that to other areas in the same way. Um, in the same way you automatically water is also the same way you automatically get rocks and gold and stuff, and the same way that you can cut down trees, and the same way you move buildings because there's a spell for moving buildings, and the same way you can make it rain tomorrow, right? Like there's a quite a different few different spells that are quite good. Although we're still limited by the mana, which still think is very limited.
Yeah.
I would have liked to have done more magic early on in the game and even mid game. It wasn't until late game that I felt like I had enough mana to do everything that I wanted to do.
Okay. Well, there's hope on the horizon then, because I'm wasting away in that mine, honest to God.
Next, we have catching. So there's bugs around and you can catch the bugs. Um, this is not like your standard catching where you have to like sneak up on bugs and then press the button to catch them without them noticing you. You walk towards a bug, it runs away from you, and you have to chase it.
See, I didn't know if I was doing it wrong because I thought
Nope.
there was a way to be stealth about
No,
it. And then I
no.
would every time I'd run away and I'm like, well, I guess I'm just racing it now. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought, yeah, I thought I was doing it wrong.
No,
Okay, good to know.
there is no subtlety to it. You walk towards it, it runs away from you, you chase it into a corner and you grab it.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
Done. The other thing you can catch is at some have you unlocked the soul blobs yet?
Yes, yes.
So one of the characters in the game is Death.
On
And
vacation.
yeah. Well, how long is a vacation if you're there forever? Um
He's got his
the
Hawaiian shirt on.
one of the things that Death will do is ask you to uh, get the soul blobs. Basically, they are little skulls flying around with a little kind of like flame behind them, and they are the souls of dead people. And you have to catch them the same way you catch bugs. And when you catch one, it'll give you a little bit, very quick story as to how this person died. I will give you some examples because they're very fun. Uh,
Oh, some of them are hilarious.
Playful tester died, cause of death, fell down the stairs. Um,
There's an Animal Crossing one. I haven't caught it myself, but there's one. It's like Thomas Nook. It's like something about a landlord.
oh yeah, yeah. Yasmin Timely, cause of death, lost at poker against the Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Tom Finn, cause of death, they took his dog.
Oh, here it is. Thomas Nook, cause of death, evicted the wrong tenant. I love that. Yeah, all the blurbs are funny. Died
Yeah, so
setting an example.
so there's quite a few good fun ones. Maria
Yeah.
Dulong hugged a cactus. So they're quite fun. I've got 92 of 100 of the soul blobs, so I'm
Oh,
actually nearly done that one. Maybe I'll finish that. We'll
nice.
see.
Yeah.
But it's a fun little collectible. That's really all. I think after you get certain numbers of them, you unlock certain things.
Yeah, I think I've done 10 or 15 and I got something at 10. I
Yeah,
can't
I
remember what
can't
it
remember what
was,
it
but
is, but yeah, death will. Oh, I think you unlock the ability to make the day faster or slower.
oh yeah, you get the clock, the antique clock.
I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
Weird
that's what I've
thing
got so far.
to lock behind story progression, but you get it quite
Yeah.
quickly. So it's not the same as like when Pokemon locked behind, story progression, the ability to change the volume of the game. It's not as bad as that. So I don't know. I don't honestly don't know how I feel about it because I personally have never changed the speed of the days in these games because I've never felt like I need more time and I don't care about them going faster because I can just go to sleep. So,
See, I don't know if I thought it just kind of automatically applied it because I haven't interacted with the clock. I put it out in my room, but I haven't
you don't
activated it.
interact.
If you
It just it shows up in your settings after you have the clock.
oh my God.
You don't
Okay,
even
because
need
I
to
was
put it
looking
out.
at this thing like, how do I turn it off?
No, it's literally it just adds a setting in your settings.
Oh, okay. Okay, okay. But yeah, you're not like in an enormous rush unless you're traveling across the map.
No. And even then, like you speed up and you have other ways to do it. It's not, I've never really cared. I mean, some people do care and that's fine. And so I don't know how they would feel about this being locked behind story progression.
Okay. It's really early too.
Because it doesn't feel, because it's not an accessibility thing, right? Like you just get more time in the day to do stuff. So I don't think I care about it from that aspect, but also like, why is it locked behind? I don't know. I don't care. I
Yeah,
think
and then you
is my
also don't get
point.
penalized for like the amount of days you sleep and the amount of days that you start over. There's no penalty. I don't know, well, I guess it makes your season shorter.
That's it. Yeah, that's an
But
interesting point to. I haven't figured out where this goes in the discussion, but 2 seconds, I'm going to sneeze.
let's see.
But one thing that's interesting is so in Stardew and most other farming games, if you get to the end of the day and you haven't gone to bed, you will wake up in the morning with less than your full stamina. If you get to,
Okay.
is it 6 a.m. I think when
Yeah, it's 6 a.m.
you just that's fine. You just
You turn into bats
you
and fly
turn
to
it
your bed.
you turn into bats, you fly to your bed, and then the next day you just have your full stamina. There's no disadvantage to it. And you know what? I really like that because this is meant to be a cozy game. Give me more cozy like that. Like, don't penalize me for staying out too late. I like this. I really like this, especially because of the like the story behind all this. Like, you're a vampire, and so like it doesn't really matter. You're not sleeping because you need to sleep. You're sleeping because you don't want to be awake when it's sunlight hours. And so it's like
Yeah, I like that
thematically
you're
it
not
makes
penalized for
sense.
that. Yeah, because I don't like when you in other games, yeah, like you said, Stardew or I think Harvest Moon, if you
I
collapse
think basically all
at
of
the end
them.
of the day, yeah, you wake up less energized. And I thought that was what was going to happen. So I was racing at 5 a.m., racing back to my bed. And then I missed it. And you just kind of fly into your little room and you wake up in your coffin. And there's no penalty for that that I've noticed. I don't think there is.
There is, yeah, there's nothing. There's
No,
nothing.
that's good. That's good.
The other collectible in the game is called Vampsters. Have you encountered the Vampsters?
Yeah.
They're just little creatures that sit around the map doing a little dance. And they're kind of cute. They all have like different costumes and stuff like that. But the I don't dislike them in concept, but my problem with them is they become very annoying and they're still annoying at endgame. So
Oh, no.
I can feel that I'm getting more and more stuffed up as this podcast goes
Oh,
on.
no. My allergies
So
have been
I,
sending your way.
I'm probably sounding worse and worse as the podcast goes on, but I'm going to keep going. We're getting there. We're nearly there.
Okay.
Um, so the thing about them that makes them annoying, but also makes them an interesting thing, is that you can't put them in the bag. You have to like pick them up and take them to where they live from one side of the map to the other, um, without putting them down. Because if you put them down, they run away and they go back to where they were. So it's a challenging collectible. It's not just like collect a thing. It's you have to get them to a specific place.
I was so hoping that there would have been a spell where you can just drop them in the like you like summon them away.
Yeah, so there's not. It
I
does
know.
get
I wish there was.
easier, but
Okay.
there's one real thing that I dislike. Okay, so a little bit of a very small spoiler for fast travel in this game. There are two kinds of fast travel. One is witches' circles, which are there are certain areas that are like a circle of mushrooms, and you can turn
Oh,
them
I knew they did
into
something.
yeah. So they're essentially like portals. They're fast travel. You go to one and you can teleport to a different one. Now they have a little flaw in that there's not a huge number of them and there are awkward places. But you know what? It's fine. It is what it is. They're useful for certain things. But you cannot travel through them with a vampster.
Oh my God.
So that's
Okay.
one thing. There is a second kind of fast travel, which is a better fast travel that you get later on in the game. I think it's 50% museum completion, and that is the catacombs. Catacombs.
Oh,
So there is a series of catacombs underneath the entire map. One of them is in your crypt in your farm, and then
okay.
there are at various other parts throughout, including there is an entrance in the mines. So it's actually how the mines are connected. There's actually two mines. They're both connected through the catacombs. Now, this is much better because you can just run through the catacombs with a Vampster, and it almost makes it not annoying in post game to do the Vampsters, except the entrance to the mines is where you have to get them to the little cave in the mines right at the start of the mines, which is where you take the Vampsters to, is the other side of the mine from the entrance to the catacombs. So
Ah,
if you find a Vampster in the town, you go to the entrance to the catacombs. I won't spoil where that is. You go to the entrance to the catacombs. It didn't take you long. You get into the catacombs. Didn't take you long. You run to the mines in the catacombs. Didn't take you long. You are now on the other side of the mines from where you need to be, and you have to run all the way from one end of the mines to the others, which takes longer than the rest of the journey you just did with your Vampster. Why is it so far away from this place? I am at the post game. I have done almost everything in this game. I have so many Vampsters to get. They are deliberately annoying, but right at the end of the game, you would expect things to get easier, and they do a little bit, but not enough. Because the thing is, see, if I was just running across the map and going into the mines to put my Vampsters away, it's right at the start of the mines. So you're actually
yep.
making it harder to get the Vampsters to
Uh,
there by using that because you are the other side of the mines. Now, it speeds up everything else, but it massively increases the time in the mines trying to get. And the problem with the mines compared to everything else is there are so many obstacles because there's just
yep.
rocks everywhere. So it can take a huge amount of time. And so I think the thing is that, like, I get that they're meant to be a challenge and I don't dislike that, but I feel like by the time you get to the end of the game and you've done the entire story and you've done everything else, you've unlocked all of the catacombs, you're like more than 50% of the museum, you've done so much of this game. Why is that so far away from where the Vampsters are? It's bizarre to me.
Yeah,
It's so
tedious
close to
doesn't
being.
mean difficult.
Yes,
That's
well,
like I
that's
know
the
what you
thing.
mean.
That's exactly it. Like finding them all and moving them there, I get that's a challenge. And like early on, you don't want it to be too easy. I get that. But when I've done everything else, make the entrance to the catacombs in the mines closer to where the Vampsters go.
That needs to be the episode title of this episode. Why are the catacombs so, or why is the cave so far away?
Oh,
Okay, yeah, because I was thinking, oh, maybe you get a spell to just send them back in.
nope.
Glad to hear you don't.
So close. So
So close.
close.
I wonder if that's like an oversight on their part. Like, oh my god, we didn't put another entrance.
I think it's just that they wanted the Vamsters to be difficult, full stop, and never be easy. And it's like, but that
It
kind
is
of
easy. It's
defeats the
just in the
purpose of progression in games, is that things generally are meant to get easier unless
yeah,
it's
that's the
specific about
frustration.
skill. And this is not about skill,
No, because you can bump
right?
into stuff, right? You just can't drop them.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It just takes
Yeah.
ages. It just takes so
Because I was
long.
worried at the start, like, oh, if I bump into something, it's gonna escape from my arms and run away. But no, you can bump into stuff, so it's not even a skill of your like movement or
Yeah,
anything.
yeah.
But yeah, side note, I am glad to hear that the fairy rings do something because I remember going through them and my husband was sitting next to me and I'm like, oh, there's fairy rings. I bet they do something. So I tried to do a whole bunch of stuff in them and they did nothing. So I'm glad
Yeah.
that they do something in the future.
You unlock a spell to open them.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That's good to know.
that's how
But
you
yeah,
do it.
they seem really in really weird places to put them though.
They are. They are. They're awkward. They're not as you like. There's not one on your farm. You have to go to the forest to get to the closest one, and it's like the
Yeah.
one in the town is like far away from everything else. It's just they're just they're just at annoying places, which is fine because it's not the only fast travel, and it does speed you up in most cases. So I'm not gonna complain about them too much.
Okay.
fine.
The Vamsters, however.
The hamsters, goodness me. All right. So I think that's most of the mechanics. Unless you're going to correct me and say that I've missed a mechanic, I think the only other mechanic to talk about is relationships.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Yeah.
All right, relationships is mostly kind of your standard Stardew like feature where you give people gifts, you talk to them, and that increases their friendship, and then eventually you end up in a relationship with them, and then eventually at some point you get married. That's kind of generally how it works,
Yeah.
with a couple of changes. So,
Yes.
have you done any of this?
Yeah, I had the first like Valentine's Day festival, I guess.
Okay,
Um, yeah, there's one that I think I'll choose.
you'll choose. I
Yeah,
think they
if
have
they
a
choose me
good.
back.
I think they have a good balance of younger and older characters. I think in this game,
Yeah,
where
some of them I'm like, you're a child.
yeah, but they also have some ones that are clearly old. Like there's some that are the age of your parents in
Yeah.
game, which means that people who are playing it have someone who's older. I have seen a lot of people. Now, obviously, my opinion is obviously very kind of based on the fact that I am not generally attracted to men at all. But I have generally found that the women are more interesting and attractive, but the internet seems to generally agree with me as well, which is why I don't think it's just that I'm not generally interested in men. I think that the
No,
internet
the women,
generally seems to agree with me.
yeah, because the women have more, yeah, they're definitely more mythical looking, I'll say.
But also every man that is in a that is really romanceable pines for a woman in the game.
Yeah.
Which, like, imagine if everyone was Clint, right? Like, all of them are. If you talk to, because like I've obviously not romanced any of them, but I've noticed they're clearly pining for the women in the game, and I'm like, if I was interested in them, I would find that very frustrating.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. So you haven't thought of anyone that you want to?
Oh no, yeah, no. So I have. Well, okay. So, I got to the point where I had, let's double check. It's been so long since I played this game. I have
What?
one, two, three, four different characters that I'd gotten to the point where I could marry them
Look at you.
because you can date multiple people at the same time. And I'll come back to that in a minute. But what a really nice thing about this game is you can like duplicate a save. So what I did was I finished the story. I had everyone at the point where I could marry them, and then I saved and I duplicated that save. So I can now go into each of those saves and marry each of those characters, which is fun. So I can see how they all are as spouses.
Interesting.
One thing I really like about this is that if you do date multiple people, so obviously there's a thing in Stardew where if you date all of the dateables of one gender, that they will all come together and there's like a scene where they all like, why are you dating us all? But that's the only thing in Stardew about that. You can date all bar one of them and nothing will ever come of that. Like what
Yeah.
I really
We
like
have to
about
had
this
a meeting
game,
about you.
yeah, yeah. What I really like about this is the moment you start dating two characters, they will both start mentioning the fact that you're dating other people. They won't do too much about it. It doesn't actually negatively impact. It's just like they will talk about it, right? So one of the characters was talking about it in a very almost derogatory way, like, I can't believe you're also dating them, sort of thing. Like, how could you consider them, sort of thing. One of them was, oh, I'm a little bit upset, but I'm just going to have to learn to live with it if that's what you want, sort of thing. Like,
Oh my God.
they all had different ways of talking about it. Um, and, I thought that they all fit with their personalities. Like, one of them was just like completely upset. How I can't believe you would do this. I want you to
Yeah.
myself, sort of thing, which it doesn't actually affect the relationship. It just happens in conversation. You'll just be talking to them and they'll suddenly say that and you're like, oh goodness, okay.
You caught me.
So I thought that was really interesting. And then
Yeah.
when you choose to marry one of them, the rest of them are upset and they turn into a specific relationship status called hurt. And they will drop back down to
Oh.
4 hearts and all the hearts are broken.
Oh no.
And they will not talk to you for a certain
Oh.
period of time,
Oh my God.
including the ones that run shops will not sell
Oh,
you
you can't get
anything
your stuff.
until you recover the relationship to be your friends again.
Wow, that's really interesting. I was wondering if that was gonna happen, like if there was any negative effects. Wow.
And so the different ones will do different things, and some of them recover quicker than others and stuff like that. So I'm kind of going through my 4 different saves to see how they all react to that, which is,
Okay.
in my opinion,
Yeah.
very interesting.
Yeah, like to me, the dating part's the least interesting aspect for me. Um, yeah, I know who I'm gonna pick though. I don't know if I can say it here.
Tell me.
Ridge,
Okay, fair enough.
the lumberjack, the lumberjack.
Fair enough. Yeah, no,
He's
that's
so
fair enough.
nice. He fixes your house for you, your roof for you,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
seems like overall positive dude.
fair enough.
I almost did Luna though. Is that the garden girl?
Yeah, I like Luna. I didn't quite gel with her as much as some of the other ones, but she was. I think if there hadn't been anyone had liked more than her, then I definitely could have seen something there. But I wasn't, when I already had 4 people on the go, I was like, there's a lot here. Like, I don't think I need a fifth one, sort of thing.
Okay.
Um, I had, so
Okay.
the 4 that I have been dating are Sabrina, Mina, Fiona, and which is really awkward. Turns out Fiona is actually Sabrina's aunt, so that's a little bit awkward. Um,
What? Really?
yeah. Um, uh,
Ah.
and also Kim, but you won't have met Kim yet.
No, not yet. Is it Kim
So,
Dracula?
no,
No. Okay. A
that would be weird.
little bit.
That would be your own family.
Oh, okay. Never
You're
mind.
Dracula, remember?
Yes. Okay. Disregard.
No,
Feel free to cross that
she
out.
is of a different type of character that you've not met yet that you might have theorized might exist.
Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay.
Although I'm just about to talk about the fact that those characters
Yeah.
exist in a
Yes. Okay.
second. Uh, so yeah, it's fine. It's not. There's nothing humongously interesting. I think the relationship between them is the most interesting thing, but overall, it's kind of just pretty standard.
Okay.
So obviously, story wise, we don't want to talk about a lot of story because a lot of this is kind of like just as you go. But I've generally found the story quite interesting and fun. It's not like overwhelmingly interesting, but it is at least it makes me want to continue doing things to find out. And like you know, you learn through relationship building, you get to know people, and there's a lot of different characters that have different archetypes, and some of them feel a little bit kind of stereotypical, but some of them actually find quite interesting. Like, for the listeners, one of the characters is alcoholic, and
Yeah.
him being an alcoholic actively impacts the story and people's relationships, and is very interesting in ways that are hard to explain without explaining the story, but you really feel like his alcoholism affects everyone in the town.
Yeah. Yeah. Even from I haven't played nearly as much as you, but yeah, it has quite the impact already. Like you can see with his children and stuff.
Yeah. Um, there's a bunch of different types of characters. So obviously we talked about vampires and witches. There's also werewolves. Um, Ridge is a werewolf, I think, isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. And then there's seers. And then the one that you unlock later on is there are mer people that you will meet at some point, but I suspect you'd theorize that they existed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Uh, and then there's also human characters that come later on as well, and their story is interesting.
Okay.
Um, and then there's obviously kind of events that happen. There's like story events that happen where you kind of like how Stardew works, where you go to a certain area on a specific time and things happen. What I really like is the map shows you when there's an event going to happen if you go to a specific area, which is not all of these games do that. And I really like the fact that you can look in the map and say, oh, if I go anywhere right now, will a thing happen, right? Because some things need very specific things to happen. So like, for example, Kim, her 4 heart event had to happen at a specific time in a specific space. And if I hadn't been looking at the map at a specific time, I wouldn't have known that it was going to happen then. And I saw, oh, there's a little sparkle on that map. Let me go and see what happens. And it was Kim's 4 heart event, which was fun.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
A couple of other things I found interesting, but not to not to a degree that I think would be great. There is one relationship that you do break up during the story, which is something I've asked for ages, but it's a specific one that you have to break up. So it's not like you're choosing to break up specific relationships to date someone. It's a thing that happens in the story.
Okay.
There, someone dies in this game. Like properly dies. I'm not going to tell you who.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you any hints who, but someone
Okay.
dies in this game, and I think it's really well done what they do. They deal with grief in a very interesting way. I think it's very well done.
Oh, I'm asking you after though.
That's fine. You can ask me after. Um, and then there's like, festivals that happen. So that's a thing
Yes.
that happens. They're kind of standard. I don't think there's anything interesting to talk about them. If you know Stardew or you know any other kind of Stardew, like the festivals are exactly what you'd expect.
Right.
Oh, is there anything you want to talk about story and character wise that I've not talked about?
I'm pretty far behind. So
Yeah, I
no,
know.
I think no, I'm excited to keep going though, for sure.
I think the story
Um,
was interesting enough. I
yeah.
don't think it quite hits the level of Stardew, but I think there are points where it does. Like the grief aspect that I was talking about, I think is really, really well done. I think it's as well done as any Stardew story. But most of it is kind of pretty kind of cookie cutter. Like it's fine. It's
Mhm.
serviceable, it's enjoyable, but you're not gonna like give it an Oscar sort of thing,
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, no, yeah, we picked the busiest time of year to play this game because I feel like I have a lot I want to say. And I'm excited to play a lot more of it, which is good because I find, where I'm at in the game is where I'd be able to choose if I want to continue or not. So
Hmm.
yeah, it's promising to see what else comes ahead of it.
We can always do a follow-up episode if you got more
Oh,
thoughts
yes,
once you've done more
please.
of the game.
Yes, please.
That is always an easy episode for me because I don't need to do anything except talk. All right. I think that's everything in the game. Then let's do a quick, before the spoiler section, let's do a quick summary of how we feel about the game and whether we'd recommend it. I mean, I've already done that, right? Like I said at the beginning, if you like the idea of Stardew but you're a vampire, I think play the game. Like
Yeah,
it's very well made and it's very enjoyable. It's nothing super special, but it's good. I enjoy it.
I agree. Yeah, I don't have anything else to add at that point, but yeah, no, I'm enjoying it. Like I play a lot of Animal Crossing and this feels different enough that it's not Animal Crossing, but enough similar features that I don't feel like a complete stranger to this kind of game. So yeah, I do enjoy it and I would recommend it.
Nice. All right. Well, that is basically the entire podcast. The only thing that is going to be after this is a few spoilers that we mentioned throughout the episode. So if you don't want to be spoiled for this, then you can head out now. There's nothing else after this. Uh Go away. Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. All right. So I wrote the list as we were going. You wanted to know who dies? We'll go with that first.
Sure, is it Orlok?
It's not. Brooke
No?
dies.
Who does?
Brooke, the mayor.
No. Oh
Um,
God.
it's actually a really touching story. I won't
Yeah.
spoil everything, but he dies.
Okay.
Um, but the really funny thing is because he dies, you then have to elect a new mayor. And I won't
Oh.
tell you who wins, but I will tell you one of the candidates is a vampster.
I got my vote.
I
Wow,
bet
that's
you could probably
interesting.
guess who becomes mayor, but I
I
will
don't
neither
know.
confirm nor deny.
Okay, no, I'm not even gonna guess.
Guess, go on, guess, guess, guess,
Is
guess.
it Orlok?
I've told you
No,
I'm
it's not.
neither going to confirm nor deny.
Okay, okay, I'll get to
Uh,
that myself.
the transformations. So obviously the cat was the one you've had. What were you guessing was one of them?
Uh,
Because you had a
so,
theory.
is it a mermaid?
It is, yeah,
They go in
yeah,
the water? Yeah, okay.
correct.
Yes. Okay, I was like, there's way too much to explore out there to not have that ability.
And the
Like,
final one is a bat, which kind of makes sense.
okay. Yeah, I figured at some point you would eventually get your wings and be able to just do that yourself. I do like the cat though.
Yeah, no, yeah, I think they're really good.
Yeah. I love being I thought that when I turned into a cat, I could talk to my cat, but he only talks to you like a person. I thought he'd be like, I don't know. That makes no sense because I realized that he still talks to you even as a cat. Disregard. Disregard. He
And
can
the
talk
bat
to
is
you
really
either
fun because
way.
you're flying, so you can fly over things, which is good.
Oh, is that how you get to the second level of the mine?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay. I
yeah.
was like, there must be a ladder recipe or something.
The sunscreen potion. This is so stupid. The only purpose of this potion is so that you can talk to the sun god.
What? I thought it would just make you be able to lengthen your day.
Nope, nope, it doesn't do that. So there's a character in the game called the sun god,
Yeah,
and there's a whole bunch of story stuff around that. But basically, to talk to him, you have to use the sunscreen because obviously he's the sun god. He's the embodiment of the
that's
sun, and you are a vampire, so you have to put on sunscreen. That's it. That's it.
I
That's
like
the whole
my idea
thing.
better. Make the day longer.
Yeah, I also thought it would be that as well, but it's not.
Hmm.
And the Draculams, they do foment a revolution in the game.
Oh my God. I
It
can't
is.
wait.
I love the revolution. I will not tell you what happens. I won't spoil it all, but the revolution is super, super fun.
Okay. Is that way, way late in the game?
No, no, it's
Oh,
kind of mid.
okay.
It's kind of mid game.
Perfect. I have all these things to look forward to now.
All right. Well, I think that's everything then. Thank you, Chelsea, for joining me for this episode.
Thanks for having me, and we're glad you're back.
Maybe some people are.
What? It's your show.
Is there anything you would like to share with the audience?
Uh, Play Moonlight Peaks. Simple. Just keeping it at that.
Simples. All right. You can find the podcast on Tumblr and on Blue Sky at THS Pod. You can also find us on YouTube, where I am sharing a bunch of clips from the podcast. I'm trying to do one a day, and some of them are gaining traction and interesting. And if you enjoy that, then that's there if you want to go and look at it. You can also send us feedback from our website, harvestseason.club, where you can also find links to everything to do with the podcast, including our Patreon, patreon.com/thspod, where you can support the podcast monetarily if you wish. And in return for some money on a monthly basis, you can get access to our Slack, where we talk about a bunch of things. What I've been talking about recently on there. Chelsea, you shared your picture of the bedazzled goose lamp.
That's worth the money right there to see that thing.
Absolutely. You can try and convince me to play games that are clearly bad and I can't decide whether I want to play or not for the podcast. That's a
Yes, because
thing you
right now
can
you're
do.
debating Harvest Moon ports.
Yes, the terrible looking ports of terrible games that are on mobile, and who knows why they've decided to do that.
Come bully Al into playing the Harvest Moon ports.
Please do. You also get access to bonus episodes of the podcast. And now that I'm back from my holiday, we should be getting a bunch of them up. I know Cody promised about 10 in
Yes.
in her in their last episode. So
Yeah, me and Kevin have a list too.
I mean, you just need to actually start recording them then. Come on. Like you people keep promising greenhouses and not actually doing them. So
Oh, me and Kevin have a date set for one. Thank you.
good. Good. Get it done.
Yes.
So there will be hopefully quite a few over the next couple of months as I try and get to an arbitrary number that I want to do within a calendar year. Woo!
Woohoo!
All right, that's everything. Thank you, Chelsea, for joining me.
Thank you.
Thank you, listeners, for listening. And until next time, have a good
Have a
harvest.
good harvest. Woo!
The Harvest Season is created by Al McKinley, with support from our patrons, including our pro farmers, Kevin, Stuart, and Elisa. Our art is done by Micah the Brave, and our music is done by Nick Burgess. Feel free to visit our website, harvestseason.club, for show notes and links to things we discussed in this episode. 2 seconds. Hey Google, turn on the light. I didn't realize I was sitting without lights on. It's starting to get dark, so I was like, I can't see things anymore.
Wait, I can't see anything.
Fair.